Hello, my name is Don and welcome to another episode of Motorsport Manager on my channel with our creator team. Today we take on the Milan Grand Prix. We've got 2 races left of this series. I'm really hoping for a good result at the Black Sea, which is in the next episode when it's double points until next season. But the reality is we need to pick up 20 points over the teams above us to keep our job in the next 2 races. It's not going to be easy. We had such a poor sort of early mid-season that it really knocked us back. We've been on the recovery since. The last couple of results have been a lot better, but we need to finish 3rd and we're well off that target at the minute. Hopefully we can find the result today. We're going to move on. We've got our car repair to complete. We've got a contract proposal with someone. I remember doing that at the end of the last episode. I can't remember who he is though, but I know that we need something. So he's renegotiating, this guy Connor Chapman. So he wants more wages. Okay, happy with everything else, so let's go with that. And drivers, so let's have a look at him just to remind us. So he's not the best. He's resource hog, but that's not an issue right now because obviously Ellie Marsh is maxed out on her ability, so it's not going to be such an issue. We've also got the political vote on suspension, so we can make that a spec part next year, which will allow us to save a bit more money again. Let's see how much a suspension actually is. So for a base suspension it is 750,000, so plus 50,000 for each of these, 100,000 for each of these, and a bit more for that. So it's worthwhile doing. We can also then build the brakes R&D centre and we can really start pushing on to improve it next season. Suspension is one of our better parts, so if I remember correctly. It's actually not, it's probably equal with brakes right now, so see how it goes. New vote started, so spec suspensions now we're going to vote for, and we're going to put in every bit of voting power we have into this. We need spec suspensions for next season. Should cruise through at 95, so our 5 votes really came in handy there. We only really needed 2, but it was fine. So that's us got another spec part for next season. We've got another scout report, this lad here. Pay driver, which appeals to me, 2 stars, so he's slightly better at braking, smoothness and cornering, all very, very poor, which is an issue for me. As good as is at everything else, those are key areas. I mean, if we don't get this Connor Chapman, we can always look at him. Apparently we're not getting him yet. As we've got a race at Phoenix first. That's nothing to do with us. Hate how you have to go through that. So we'll skip ahead. Mail. Contract offer accepted. Okay. So we will accept. We will sign. We'll replace this person here, the reserve driver, because that's going to save us money. It saves us 97,000. It's not a huge amount, but it is what it is. It's a little bit extra money. And promote reserve driver for Frankie Kinney. If it lets me do that, there we go. Frankie's now going to spit the toys out the pram, but it's all good. I'm going to be a main driver, someone should promote me. Mate, you've been in the job 1 day. So we've got this lad here. Meditates and pay driver. Pay driver does appeal to me, but I'm not going to add him yet. And you've got Carlos Pino. Driver I've actually used a couple of times on this game and quite like, so it does drop us down to 3 stars swapping him round, unfortunately. Obviously Frankie 75% against Connor's 40% markability, making a big difference there. And he's got +5 on that as well, but hopefully he can build that up over time. It's not a disaster if he can't. He's here for 26 months. We can have even just a good driver here with a better marketability than Ellie. That would come in handy as well. But it gives us a second driver that is now ready to compete. We've got the helipad coming in as well, which will give us 5-star sponsors once we unlock that. We've got another. Yes, I know we're getting fired if we don't finish 3rd. I'm aware of that. Renew looks decent. Pay driver again, so that's always an option. He might have actually been a better option than Chapman, to be honest, if I'd had the time, but I didn't want to. He's actually not. But he would have been the pay driver, of course, which would have helped. So it's hit and miss, but I felt that we needed somebody to come in, do a job very quickly for us, and finish off this season strongly. It would have been better if it was a reverse grids, if I can get my words out, like it was last season. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I think we go back to that next season, I'm not sure. Either way, it would have been handy to have brought that person in for that. But we're going to go for the 6 or above. Let's have a look at setup just to make sure we've got everything that we need. I actually just want to quickly look at improving parts. Make sure that we've got that on. We do. I'll go up to 420. That is a big upgrade for next season, if we can keep our job. That is the key point of that, though. We have to keep our job. New buildings, though. Let's have a look. Handling. Is it the brakes? R&D? We can't afford it. We cannot afford it. Okay, we'll build that at the end of the season. For now, though, we're going to go into practice. I will be back with the race in just a second. Okay, so welcome back. Last and second last. Ignore that. It was a wet session. I tried to get dry tyre prioritised, because it was going to be dry in the race. So I thought we'll take the 5% bonus that we can get. Maybe we can try and edge the 10%. We couldn't. As you can see, though, no bonus. Only managed 5%, and now it's raining. So how long is it on? It's in that sort of weird, dampy spell where I think you can get away with a dry. So I think I'm actually going to risk it. Going for 7 laps on this tyre. We did get great setup there and good setup here. We used Frankie Kinney, of course, for get some money back, but we're going to gamble on the 7 laps on this tyre. We'll go push and overtake mode and push. So we took the gamble, trying to get it right. LMR starting in 3rd, that's always good news. Connor Chapman starting in 16th, that is not so good news. We'll try a couple of laps of this. We're the only ones on the drier tyre, but I think this means that it should be a bit slower on lap 1, maybe a bit quicker on lap 2 and 3 maybe. Let's take the gamble. Problem is it looks like it's going to get to inters very quickly, and we have a huge disadvantage on anything that looks like inters, so that's a problem that we have. So it's not worked out. This has not worked out at all. Okay, let's shred through these tyres. Let's just shred through them, because ignore safety car leaving garage. Let's have a look. Cavalcanti has crashed. Okay, so I guess what we should do is see. Have we already got up to the safety car? Yes, we have. Let's go low and low on both cars just now and work this one out. So it's going to get wetter. We have to come in for the inters. It's that simple. It's disappointing because I had this plan and we have to come in for inters, which goes against the plan. It looked like it was going to dry up. The weather told me it was going to dry up, but it's not worked out that way at all. Frustrating. We'll just stack the cars because there's no point in not doing it. Get onto the right tyre and work it out from there. We're 18th and 19th now. We should catch up to the back of this pack though. Yeah, that's frustrating because this was when it was coming onto the tyre for us, was then as the safety car's out. The safety car was out and when we would have been quicker. We wouldn't have gained a pit stop though, as you would have gathered. So it doesn't make too much of a difference. I know I would cut away with a safety car, but I need to work this one out. Let's go into pushing with the tyres, try and get some temperature into them for the restart, because otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Because we're already last and second last. We need to have a really strong result here, and right now it's not looking good. In fact, I'm pretty sure as of right this second we are getting sacked. So anything that can give us any sort of competitive edge is now required. and we don't have much of a competitive edge, unfortunately. Genuinely, you can go back, and it genuinely told me this race was going to be dry. It's why I focused so much on the dry tyre during a wet practice. It's why I focused so much on starting on the softer tyre, because I thought this rain will pass very quickly and we'll be on the right tyre. We have to make a pit stop less. It will benefit us, and it hasn't, unfortunately. So, go into overtake mode in just a second. Maybe done that a bit too early. In fact, we've actually got away really awful there compared to what I expected. Ellie does make a good move there in the first corner though, getting bogged down in traffic in the second. Connor Chapman on a charge though. Ellie getting stuck behind traffic. But if we can start filtering our way back through the field, as both drivers seem to be doing, we'll follow Connor Chapman, the new guy, just for a little bit. See how he gets on, but the problem is they're fighting each other as well as going through the traffic. But that's good news, that's what I want to see. But we need to start making up these places and getting back into this race. Ellie now starting to push through. And we should be on fresher tyres as well, of course, because we were obviously in the right window. We're 13th and 14th now, so we've shown we've got some pace during the wet. I think we'd be a lot better off if we weren't overtaking each other constantly, but you know, it works out. Connor Chapman up into 10th now. Elliot following quickly behind. Going to need to go down into neutral fuel though, because otherwise we're not going to make the end of this race. We'll probably need to conserve towards the end anyway. But we're 9th and 10th. We've now cleared sort of a big bunch. So hopefully we can make this work now. We've still got plenty of tyre left in us. We've now brought ourselves into sort of line with the other cars. We'll go into neutral. We're in a perfect sort of temperature window. But the problem is 9th and 10th still isn't good enough for us. We need to be higher up. A lot higher up, in all honesty. So Ellie in 10th, Connor in 9th, but still a decent showing under the circumstances. Put ourselves into a competitive position again as we wait for it to hopefully dry up towards the end of the race, where we can be the more competitive team. Everyone else will have to pit as well, of course, because there's no way they're going to be able to do 20 laps on these tyres. Although actually I'm thinking, let's conserve the tyres, boys and girls, because it looks like it's going to start drying out about lap 16. I've maybe taken up a bit too much of the tyres, so we're going to back up completely, but we're catching up to more traffic now. As I imagine they'll be trying to do similar things. No, we are on a completely different strategy to them, trying to slow it down, maybe make a pit stop less. I want to be able to get to at least lap 15, because that's where it's going to start to change. Probably be a lot slower for one lap, which is the worry, and I'm not sure we can make it that far without backing up the tyres, despite the fact we've caught up with these cars in front. I think we have to conserve rather than push to get the overtake, because it'll work out better for us in the long term. And lap 15 works out quite well for us, because it does mean that we can go into the soft compound tyres. It's going to be a standard 2-stopper on that. I think it was a 1-stopper on the slower compound tyre, but I sort of gambled on the AI not making a 1-stopper work again, which from memory at Milan didn't work out very well the last time. Either way, we are in 9th and 10th right now. We're holding off to try and get to this dry spell. We've got another couple of laps of this, of completely backing up with our tyres. We've lost temperature completely, so let's go into conserve with Chapman. It's probably not going to gain any temperature off them, to be honest. I'm trying to debate when we stop though. Bring in Ellie at the end of this lap, so overtake, tack, end of this lap, you can come in. No parts required changing there. Connor will let her through if she catches up. I expect she will. But there's no point in Connor holding her up. We'll take that instruction off now. It didn't actually work out because she caught up at sort of the wrong time. We'll bring him in at the end of this lap. Again, similar strategy. Pause it for 2 seconds while I just put this onto push and medium. So it has to be push and low. So we'll go attacking on the tyres with Connor here. We can't go aggressive. We're going to have to start actually going into low fuel mode as well, because we're not regaining enough fuel to make the end of this race. So unfortunately they've all pitted at about the same time as us. Ellie Marsh back into 15th. Hopefully she can make her strategy work. But the fact that we've got no fuel left is now the biggest worry. We need to start regaining fuel and fast. Ellie has now leapfrogged up into 6th with 2 intercars ahead. She should be able to actually really push on. Connor down into 11th after that. Didn't quite work out as well for him, unfortunately. Obviously he was on low fuel mode coming in, so slows him down a little bit. But we're going to follow Ellie Marsh just now. She's at the front of this queue and should actually jump a couple of these inter-runners. She does, up into 3rd. Connor up into a 9th now, so that has worked out okay for us. We were 9th and 10th going in, and now we are 9th and 3rd. So Ellie has really jumped up. Does she have enough fuel to make the end of the race is a big question. Same question with Connor. We'll actually bring him down onto neutral tyres. Same with Ellie, make sure they can both make the end of the race. Because we need to be able to make sure something makes the end of the race. So we've got about 2.5 laps to go to gain 0.3 of a lap. I have misbudgeted this catastrophically. I'm confident Connor will make the end. It's whether Ellie will. With 2 laps to go, I don't think she's regaining enough fuel at all to make the end. Connor in 10th, Ellie in 4th. So it's working out as an okay result just now, but we really need Ellie to really close these guys off. And Connor we can put back onto neutral fuel, which will work. Ellie will be close here on fuel, so I can't take her off. Connor in 10th though. He will comfortably make the end of the race. Ellie will still be close. Connor is closing up to this group though. The Ellie is leading. She ran out of fuel just at the end, but it was enough to get over the line. 4th and 10th works out fairly well for us under the circumstances. I don't know if it's going to be enough points to really push us up. In terms of the championship, I think there's a few teams picking up more points than us there, which is a bit of a pain. If we'd started on inters, it could have been so different. Then again, we wouldn't have been as aggressive in the second stint. So Ellie Marsh up to 114 points, 9 off Lucky Marchetta, who's the championship leader. 24 points. We've lost points. We needed 20. We now need 24 in the last race. Oh no. Yeah, it's still 20 points. We've equalled with the 2 teams that we need to overtake. That is not good enough. Ouch. Hoping for a bit better there. We didn't move up in the championship either, which means we've not really picked up any points against anyone. Double points is where it's going to come down to at the Black Sea. Never thought I'd be a fan of double points, but if we can get a really good result there, we can still put ourselves in good position. We did come 4th there, which is a bit unfortunate in terms of teams when we need 3rd. We'll go and we'll do this interview. The engine was just turned down. Right, no worries guys. Anyway, that will end this episode. I will hopefully catch you all next time for the double points race at the Black Sea. Very nervous for it. Tune in, you don't want to miss it. It is our job on the line. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully catch you for that.